You know, to build the life that you want, it's not as complicated as you think. It requires a few simple things, and that is direction, consistency with that, and just showing up on a day-to-day basis. That is what it takes to build the life that you want. And it also requires you to be happy with where you are at this moment in time and what you have, but also know and want and pursue the purpose that you know you have as well. The ability to grow even further than where you are currently. And that's what it takes to build the life that you want. It's not cold showers in the morning. It's not working for 20 hours a day. It's not doing 4-hour gym workouts. It's simple habits. And doing those consistently and having the direction to show up every single day and follow that direction. If you're chopping and changing every single day, if you're stopping when it gets a little bit hard, or if you're stopping because it doesn't feel like you're making any progress, that's not the case. Every day you show up and you're a little bit better, that's progress. So keep going, be consistent, and follow that direction. And that's how we're going to build the life that we want. And I'm going to show you what I do on a day-to-day basis to do exactly that. First things first, what we are going to do is hydrate. Because before anything else, after you've had your 7 to 9 hours, which you should have had, by the way, of sleep, you are going to need to hydrate. I'm sorry, first thing in the morning, I am still waking up, but I needed to show you that the first thing you do, obviously after you brush your teeth, which I hope that most of you will be doing, and with your water, we are going to have either electrolytes, if you have them, and if you don't, Celtic salt, pink Himalayan salt. Either put it in your water if you want it to absorb quicker, under the tongue. Give it like 20-30 seconds, and then all we're going to do, put that away. It's not been 20-30 seconds, but it will do. Cheers. As you can tell, I've never been someone to down pints, but 500 mils of water, and that is the first thing that you're going to do to start your day right. Hydrate your body properly. Before coffee, make sure you're drinking water. So you might have been wondering why I was drinking my morning glass of water with a hat and a coat on indoors. But this is the reason. The next part of the morning routine is go out and get some steps in, whatever the weather. Just look at that. Let's flip it so you can really see what we're working with this morning. That is proper. And that is a golf course, by the way. But this little pathway that I walk along a lot of the time is next to a golf course. And what me and my dad used to do was, on the sides here and over here, we'd try and find some golf balls. And if you found it, it's going to be a good day. So I'm getting distracted here talking to you lot, but I'm going to try and find one, and if I do, I will show you. But the next part of the morning routine is morning steps, no matter the weather, and you should do that too. Honestly, I've got no phone on me, absolutely nothing, just walking in nature, clearing the head, getting ready for the start of the day. But honestly, there is no better way to start your day. It's so simple but so effective. Most people can do it. You just need to get up, brush your teeth, have a glass of water with some form of electrolyte if possible, and then get outside in nature and go for a walk. And you tick every single box. Light movement, you're not stressing your body out with some intense HIIT workout, or even a run in the morning. I don't think it's the best thing, but obviously sometimes you just got to get it done. But a morning walk in a little bit of sunlight, even though it's freezing, get some sunlight on your face, get some movement in, and it is spot on. And in this weather, no excuses, just wrap up and get outside. And if you ask me, obviously I'd rather be on a beach somewhere very hot, nice weather, but this is one of my favourite weathers, apart from that, to be honest. Sunny, but absolutely freezing. So next part of the routine, out of one hat into another, because the trim is all over the gaff, by the way. But the next part of the routine, as you can probably hear, is we are going to caffeine up. We've gone for a walk, we've had our water with electrolytes, we've got sunlight on our face. So now we can have that coffee. And I absolutely love coffee. So if you are like me and you like caffeine, have your coffee in the morning, enjoy it. And like I say, I'm on a body recomp at this moment in time. This year, one of my goals is to really just recomp my body, but not through how I used to do it, not through strict dieting and things like that. Just removing more, eating and managing the eating, but not tracking or no fitness apps or things like that. I know what's in what foods now through doing nutrition for years. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I'm having my coffee and I'm having milk with it. I'm not having it black just for the sake of saving calories. I'm enjoying my coffee, and other meals and exercise will take that into account. It's as simple as that. So next part of the routine is we are having our morning coffee. And as it says there, it's as simple as that. Coffee is part of life. I want to enjoy it. My Italian genes say enjoy it. Have a cappuccino in the morning, and then you can have black coffee in the afternoon if you want. But that first coffee, yeah, we are enjoying it. And then we're going to get another bit of water ready. That's a litre of water. So we'll have 1.5 litres once I finish that, and that will be done by 11 o'clock or whatever. But we're also going to put some creatine in it as well. That is one of the supplements that I do recommend and I use religiously. It is so good, has so many benefits, and even recent research has just shown even more benefits that are not necessarily training related. And we're talking like memory, cognitive function, and there's even more research coming out on that. So the next part, creatine in the water, and that is one of the supplements that I do take. And as you'll know, or as you'll get to know, diet first supplements are there to support. Just look at the state of that coffee, by the way. But cheers to that anyway. Absolutely lovely. And then before we get into work, the last thing of the morning routine that we do, or last couple of things, is journal. I literally journal every single morning before getting into work, because before you go on your phone, before you go on your laptop, you start working on things. Just clearing your head and getting what you've thought for the day and planning on what today's goal is, for example. Like this journal that I have is just one that I bought off Amazon, and it's got a load of different prompts, you know, on my mind today, positive things about myself, gratitude, today's highlight, quotes, today's goal. Once you do that, your head is so clear, you're ready to just dive into work. So I definitely recommend journaling to absolutely everyone, because it's all good working on your body, but you need to work on your mind too. And this is something that can massively help with that. And then before we get into work, we'll read one page of the Daily Stoic, which if you don't know it, it literally has a daily sort of law that is literally tied to a day. So January 5th, the day today is clarify your intentions, and then it has a little paragraph. So if you're not a fan of reading, we can all read one page a day. I've got another book that I read more pages from before bed, but this is what I read in the morning just to get a little bit of wisdom for the day. So, journal, Daily Stoic, and then after that, we can go on the phone and start doing our work and admin and all that, and get all that cortisol in our system, get that fight or flight response going. But before that, we need a calm morning, and I make sure I do that. So start thinking about it, start trying to get that involved into your day. You don't have to do all of them, but I definitely recommend water, electrolytes if you can, and a walk outside. above anything else. That is the perfect morning routine for you. I didn't want to waffle on at you, but I just want to read you this quote. I literally, as soon as I stopped recording, I read the page before I was going to get into work, and it is literally spot on. What I talked about earlier, having a direction and literally clarifying your intentions is so important. This quote by Seneca says, "Let all your efforts be directed to something. Let it keep that end in view. It's not activity that disturbs people, but false conceptions of the things that drive them mad." And that is literally what we were talking about earlier. Clarify your intentions, have a direction, have a goal, a target that you are working towards, and let that direction guide you towards that. If you don't clarify your intentions and you just have metrics that you're working towards and this and that, and you don't have an intention or direction to work towards, then that's what will stop you in your tracks. So I thought I would share that to you. I thought it'd be nice. But clarify your intentions. I'm not going to record my 4-hour deep work block because nobody wants to see that. But for you and for the purpose of this video, the next part is very important. And it is the first bit of work that you're going to be doing for the day. And I think that for me personally, I'm more productive in the morning, but you might be an evening person and you might prefer, doing work later on. Whatever it is, when you're doing deep work, eliminate as many distractions as you can. So unfortunately for the type of work that I do, my phone does need to be around. But if you don't need your phone with the work that you're doing, just put it in another room. Your environment dictates literally everything in terms of your environment that you're working in, whether it's tidy, the stuff that's around, so distractions, whether those are around. So yeah, make sure that your environment is in a good condition, clean, empty of distractions, and crack on with your deep work. And when you're doing your deep work, lock in as much as you can. If you need to do something like the Pomodoro method, can't even say it, then do it. If you want to work for an hour and then off for 15 minutes, whatever it is, just make sure that when you're doing your deep work block, you are in it and you are not getting distracted by other things. And yeah, your environment really helps with that. So anyway, now we're going to do a deep work block up until we go to the gym. And yeah, we'll have a little break for breakfast, so I'll show you that. But yeah, literally just planning out content. Got my laptop here, you can't see it, but there you go. And yeah, we've got a very busy day, a very productive day. Mondays always are, but yeah, that's pretty much how the morning looks anyway. So yeah, just make sure that if you want to build the life that you want, unfortunately you are going to have to do a decent bit of work as well. So yeah, when you do it, just lock in, do it properly, focus, and get busy. Breakfast today is very nice and simple. We've got protein, healthy fats, and we also have fiber right here. Now, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you will know what this is. And if you haven't, you're probably thinking, what on earth is that? That looks vile. And it's not the nicest thing, but this right here is psyllium husk. And what that is just a glass full of fiber. This right here is 10 grams of fiber. You need 20 to 30 grams a day minimum for good gut health. That is one thing that I used to neglect, fiber. I didn't even think about it, just thought protein, eggs, protein shakes, this and that. You need fiber in your diet. So I'm putting you on something here that is going to help you out massively. Now, I'm not going to waste any more time because the more I leave it, the more it absorbs the water and becomes all sludgy and it's so hard to drink. But that is literally breakfast for today. I've got 5 scrambled eggs with some Greek seasoning on. Oh, that's the first time I tried that seasoning and that is beautiful. But yeah, I'm keeping it simple today. Protein and healthy fats, no carbs, nothing like that just yet because I always find that makes me hungrier. So I'm going to save the carbs for before gym. And then we've got this to get through as well. Like I say, it's not the nicest thing, but if you do take my advice and start using it, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water with it so that it pushes it through. That's the advice for that. But yeah, breakfast, simple but effective. Cheers to that. Ooh. nasty. And that is a good, productive morning bit of work done. So I've been working since about 9 o'clock. It's now 12:35. Obviously had a little breakfast break, 15-20 minutes. But yeah, just really focused on content today and creating ideas and then creating the content. Sent out an email to the Too Young to Grieve community, and yeah, just been really on the content this morning. Juggling obviously my own stuff, as in like personal brand, and then the Too Young to Grieve stuff as well. So yeah, got loads of different things. Obviously got this little worksheet of split into personal, Too Young to Grieve, sending out an email, put up stories on the Too Young to Grieve page, not on my personal one yet. But yeah, just pretty much a content filled morning. And now we are going to the gym. So this is the best pre-workout that you can have. I don't care what anyone says. I've said it before. If you haven't seen my YouTube before, I'm going to tell you now. But all this is no nonsense powders, no pre-workouts and all this nonsense. It's a load of rubbish. You don't need that. I'm telling you that now. You do not need those rubbish pre-workout powders. All you need is a double espresso, a tablespoon of honey, and a pinch of Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt. Just get a good quality salt. You don't want, the table salt and things like that. It's not good quality. You don't want to be having that. But a good quality salt, pinch of that for electrolytes, carbs, and caffeine, and you're laughing. That is the only pre-workout that you need. And also, I forgot to say, I've been on my Shilajit recently, testing it out. I want to see what it does. I'm very skeptical of a lot of supplements, but a lot of people have said and the research on the benefits of it. So I'm going to give it a go. And I've also got a little bit of that in here. But yeah, in terms of your standard pre-workout, all you need is coffee, proper coffee, honey, and a pinch of good quality salt. That is all you need. Bush, let's get to the gym. So we are off to the gym. We've got an upper body day and we're going to do steps in the gym because it's a bit too frosty and slippy outside to walk up there. So we're going to get them done on the treadmill, have a little read on the treadmill, a little bit of habit stacking and get that done. But we got our first upper body day on this new Hyrox split. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a little change up of the routine, a little change up of the training, and just doing some functional upper body stuff and not just being bodybuilder basically. But yeah, that is the type of training that I'm doing, but it's more that you should get into the gym for your body and for your mind to break up the day. If you do it after, before work, whatever it is, just make sure you are getting in the gym, because it's not just your body that you're going to be building, it's consistency, it's discipline, it's habits, and it's good habits that are good for both your body and your mind. So yeah, if you want to build the life that you want, gym or movement of some sort, whatever it is, but you should be strength training at least twice a week as a minimum, needs to be part of your routine, 100%. So get that involved in whatever time, whatever part of the day it is. Just make sure that you're doing some form of movement, and hopefully you will be doing some form of strength training throughout the week as well. But anyway, let's get to the gym. 3, 2, 1. Go on, get in. This is a message for anyone who wants to do something a bit different or out of their comfort zone, but is worried other people think. Maybe it's recorded in a gym, recorded in public. I promise you that no one is watching. They're so focused on themselves and their issues. You don't have to, just do it. And that is the next part of the day. Done to build the life that you want, and that is some form of movement, some form of activity. You can go play paddle if you want, you can play football, you can do whatever, but make sure that you do move your body at some point in the day, and the gym does that for me. And you can hear the food is ready, but you definitely need to have some form of physical activity in your life in order for you to build the life that you want. I 100% will stick with that opinion for the rest of my life. Because if your body is not healthy and you don't respect your body and give yourself a little break and a breather, then it's going to be a lot harder to work on your goals and, just be healthy overall. So definitely get some form of movement in, and I definitely recommend starting the gym or continuing the gym if you are in there. But anyway, upper body and a few steps and a little cycle done, and now it's time to refuel. And like I said in the morning, I don't tend to have too many carbs in the morning, but now is when I'll have the majority of my carbs. So we have some rice, we're going to have 2 cans of tuna, just had a little chicken breast as a little starter, and got 2 apples as well for a bit of fibre. And yeah, we'll probably put some form of sauce together. I like to make my own, but we'll see. But anyway, lunchtime, make sure that you're refueling your body properly so that you have more energy to attack the next work block or whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. And this is one of the most simple, easy meals that you can make. It literally took me 5 minutes, and that's pushing it. You can't tell me that eating healthy, hitting your goals, hitting your macros takes ages, because it's rice, tuna, there's a little bit of olive oil and seasoning to give it flavour. Yeah, it's not the most extravagant or, Michelin star meal, but for lunch and sometimes we don't need that. Just simple meals that fuel your body, fuel your mind. That is how you build your body, that's how you build your mind, and it's ultimately how you're going to make progress, both physically, but in your dreams and building that life, because you're going to give your body energy. So eat properly, fuel your body, and don't make excuses, because I know it's a lot easier than you think. And if you don't, just give us a shout and we'll help you out. But that's the next part of the routine. After gym, proper post-workout meal. Replenish your glycogen stores with carbs. Recover your muscles with protein. Fuel your body. So by now, we've done our morning routine. We've gone for a walk. We've journaled. We've read a little bit, or read a bit more if you want to. We've had about 2.5 litres of water. And we've done a deep work block. Been to the gym. Had breakfast and lunch. So now what? Well, the next bit is pretty boring, but it's the next work block. Because I like to split up my day into 2 and have a really productive morning work block, and then the second work block is for more like admin-y stuff, maybe editing a bit of content, or, sending out emails or replying to things like that. So yeah, what you want to do is really put all your hard work and effort into that first morning block, proper discipline, proper, no distractions, so that you can get a really good chunk of work done. Then you get your reward, you get to go to the gym, go for a walk, do whatever, and then you come back and you do a bit more work. But try and not give yourself anything too heavy in the afternoon, or leave it till the afternoon, because after all that, your energy is going to obviously be a bit more deflated. So you want the lighter stuff, the stuff that you can just bang out and get it sorted. So that's what we're going to do now. Next bit of work, a little bit admin, a little bit editing, and just the smaller stuff. But yeah, it's all good stuff, and it's all productive stuff, and it's all stuff that needs to be done. So just structure your days correctly, and it makes building that life that you enjoy a lot easier and a lot more productive as a result. So that's what I'd say to you when it comes to the work side of things and how to structure your days. Of course, I'm not telling you how to structure your day. You might be a bit, work a bit better in the evenings, for example. So your deep work blocks in the evening, and you can get your other stuff done before, or do whatever you need to before. But that's how I structure my days, and it works for me. So find the routine that works for you, but just make sure that first work block is really, really productive, so that the second one, you can just do the basic tasks. I've literally just had dinner. Didn't record it, apologies. But it was a potato, leek soup, chicken wings and some salad. A very put together mash up dinner. And we have a little post-dinner snack as well, which is yogurt, blueberries, some oats because we're carb loading for football tomorrow, a little bit of peanut butter, and mixed in some honey as well. And that is the end of the day of eating for today. As you can see, all whole foods. We don't want unnecessary processed foods in our diet. 90-10 is what I'm aiming for in 2026. 90% whole foods, 10% of whatever we fancy here and there. But whole foods will make you feel 10 times better. So prioritize those. Remember that. And that is pretty much that. As you can see by the reflection on my face, I'm just doing a little last bits of work. And it is now 7:30. So I'm literally going to work for another hour or so, just doing a few little admin bits, a little few designs here and there for some content stuff that I'm doing. And that is pretty much it. Now, what I want you to understand is that it doesn't have to be fancy and complicated as people make it look online. If you want to build the life that you want, some days are like this. Most days are like this. Now, it could be here at home, or it could be in a fancy location somewhere else. Wherever it is, the same things apply. The same principles apply. Everyone that is doing things to build the life they want are doing these things, even if it looks fancier where they are. Now, you don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to be in a fancy location to do these things, but you do need to work hard and do these things to get to that place if that's where you want to be. So let's remember and let's take a step back from everything that you see online and everything that's glorified online. These are the basic things that you will be doing on a day-to-day basis to get to where you want to be. And what I need you to understand is that a lot of the time where you want to be and that end goal is brilliant, don't get me wrong. But the best part of all of this and of life is the journey. And this is all part of the journey. Everything you've seen today is all part of the journey. And if you don't enjoy that, then it will make building the life that you want very difficult. If you wake up every day and hate the process and hate the journey, it'll be very difficult to get to that end result that you've set yourself. So yes, you need the direction. Yes, you need the intention. Yes, you need to wake up, drink water, go for walks, whatever it is, go to the gym throughout the day, do your work blocks, do all this and that. But if you don't enjoy those things, then it's going to be very difficult to stick to it and get to that end result that we want, whatever that end result is. So my advice to you is learn to fall in love with the journey, because if you don't, it'll be very difficult to reach that end result. And that's what I want you to take as a massive, massive piece of advice from this video. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to crack on with the rest of this work because no one wants to see that. It's boring. You don't want to watch me do work. But that is pretty much the end of the day, the end of this video. I've got a little bit of work left to do. And then all I do to finish my days, especially during the week, is I'll read for about 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, put my phone away in a different room. I've got an alarm clock so that I'm not scrolling on my phone late at night, because that is prime time for brain rot, doom scrolling time, as we all know. So I'm going to crack on with this book. The Alchemist is what I'm reading, courtesy of Lukey Boy. If you're watching, thank you very much. And that'll be the end of this video. And yeah, remember, simple things done consistently build the life that you want.